今日はトロントで移民弁護士をしているジェシカ・ユアン先生から永住権、特にエクスプレスエントリーについてお話をお伺いしてみましょう。
Konnichiwa, minasan. My name is Jessica Yuan. I'm a lawyer in Toronto, and thank you for having me on the show to answer your questions about express entry.
では、最初の質問です。First question. エクスプレスエントリーとは何ですか？
So, express entry is actually not a program. It's a system that IRCC uses to manage applications from skilled workers. So there are 3 different programs that are managed through express entry. The first one is Canadian Experience Class. This is for applicants who have at least 1 year of full-time Canadian work experience or the equivalent in part-time. And the work experience will have been obtained in the last 3 years of applying. The second program is Federal Skilled Worker. So this is for applicants who have typically only foreign work experience and no Canadian experience. There's a separate point system for this category that they would have to pass in order to qualify. And the third program is the Federal Skilled Trades. This is for applicants who are qualified in skilled trades like carpentry, chef, or butcher. Applicants have to hold a certificate of qualification in that skilled trade in order to qualify. So if you're eligible for one or more programs, you can then create a profile, an express entry profile, and see what your score is. And then you're going to sit in this express entry pool until you receive an invitation to apply for the PR. And in order to be invited, your score has to meet the minimum point score for your round of invitation. So for example, if IRCC is inviting those with at least 400 points, then your score has to be 400 points or higher in order to receive an invitation to apply for PR. And then after that, once you get invited, then it's basically just submitting your documents for PR and then waiting for a decision to be made.
ありがとうございます。では、2番目の質問です。Second question. エクスプレスエントリーのポイント制度について教えてもらえますか
？Yeah, so I kind of touched up on this in the first question. Express entry works on a point-based system. So you get awarded points based on your age, education, work experience, language ability, and then there are some additional factors. So for example, if you're between the ages of 20 to 29, you'll get full score of 100 points. But if you're 30 years old, your score drops to 95. Another example is if you have a bachelor's degree, then you receive 112 points. If you have a PhD, then you'll get 140. The easiest way to calculate your points is to use the comprehensive ranking system, or it's called the CRS tool. And you can find this by Googling CRS tool IRCC.
わかりました。ありがとうございます。自分でポイントを知ることもできるんですね。では、3番目の質問です。Third question. 年齢について触れていましたが、何歳までに申し込んだ方が良いでしょうか？
To get full points for age, you will want to create a profile and be invited to apply for PR while you're between the ages of 20 to 29. Because after 30, you'll lose 5 points for each birthday. And then by the time you're 45, you get 0 points.
ありがとうございます。なるべく20代の時に申し込んだ方が良さそうですね。では、4番目の質問です。First question. 35歳以上、あるいは40歳以上でエクスプレスエントリーを申し込むのは難しいでしょうか？40歳以上の人がエクスプレスエントリーを申請するにはどんな条件が必要ですか？
Applicants over the ages 35 or 40 will have a hard time getting enough points to apply through Express Entry because they may no longer get points for the age category. If this is the case, then they'll have to find other ways to increase their score through the other categories like education, work experience, language ability, and additional points. It's typical that people who apply later in life may have a higher education. They might have a master's degree or a PhD. Also, they might have an extensive work experience, having worked possibly for 10 years or more. So those things generally do help, but sometimes it's not enough to make up for the loss in the age category. So I would say the best thing to do for older people who are thinking about immigrating to Canada is to consult with a lawyer who can provide them with a personalized PR plan.
ありがとうございます。なるべく早く専門の人に依頼した方が良さそうですね。では、5番目の質問です。Fifth question。エクスプレスエントリーを申請するにはどれくらいの英語力が必要ですか？どうやって英語力を証明しますか？
So the minimum requirement is based on your skill, job skill level, and the program you're applying under. So for example, Canadian Experience class, for NOCB jobs, you need a minimum of CLB 5. For NOC 0 or A jobs, you will need a CLB 7. For federal skilled worker, you need a minimum of CLB 7, no matter what kind of job you have. And then finally, for federal skilled trade, you need a minimum of CLB 5 for speaking and listening, and CLB 4 for reading and writing. Because Canada is a bilingual country, every applicant can choose if they want to use English or French as their first language. So if you're fluent in both languages, you will choose your strongest language as your first language, and then the other language as your secondary language, which will give you extra points. In order to prove your language ability, you will need to take a language proficiency test. Currently, there are 4 tests that are recognized by RCC. IELTS and CELPIP for English, and then for French, it's TEF or TEC.
ありがとうございます。では、6番目の質問です。Sixth question。ジェシカ先生にとって IELTS と CELPIP どちらがおすすめでしょうか？
IELTS is probably the most popular choice, but from what I've been told, CELPIP is it's more focused on functional language, which is more everyday language. And IELTS is a little bit more academic. Also, IELTS is British, so the listening portion might be difficult for some people to understand. There are many YouTube videos where people have taken both tests and then they provide their opinions on both. So I would encourage you to watch those videos to decide which one might be better suited for you. Also, you might want to just explore the 2 different tests by taking the tests online. Sometimes websites offer free tests for you to try out. So it'll give you an idea of what to expect when you actually go in for a test.
ありがとうございます。どちらのテストが自分に合っているのかを確認して受けてみると良さそうですね。では、7番目の質問です。Seventh question。エクスプレスエントリーを申請するために一番良い方法はポスグラを取得することですか？ポスグラを取るのとワーホリとセカンドワーホリを組み合わせるのとではどちらの方が良い方法だと思いますか？
If you're in Canada, either studying or working, then yes. Graduating from a Canadian college or university will usually allow you to apply for a postgraduate work permit for up to 3 years. Also, the Canadian degree may allow you to get bonus points if your language scores are above CLB 7. On the other hand, if you did not, or you just won't be graduating from a Canadian school, then perhaps a working holiday visa would be best if you're actually eligible for it, because not everybody can get a working holiday visa. But if you can, then it's better to get 2 years, because generally you don't find a job right away. So if you don't find a job right away, then the 1 year working holiday it'll be impossible for you to complete at least 1 year of Canadian work experience. So if you can get 1 year working holiday and then renew it for a second year, then at least it'll allow you to continue towards finishing a full 1 year. The other important thing to keep in mind is to find the right job right from the beginning. So something that is NOC B, A, or 0. Because if you spend 6 months in a job that is NOC C, then you've probably wasted 6 months of your working holiday visa. So definitely try your best to find a job that fits the skill level needed to immigrate.
ありがとうございます。ワーホリとセカンドワーホリを組み合わせて永住権を取るには前もって仕事を考えないといけなさそうですね。では最後の質問です。Final question。最後にエクスプレスエントリーを目指す人へのアドバイスをお願いします。
I would say maybe make sure to work on your language skills, boost your education, boost your work experience. Getting a job offer can help boost your score by up to 200 points, depending on the skill level of the job. But every person's situation is different. So I would say it's best to consult with a lawyer who will be able to recommend a PR pathway for you.
ありがとうございます。ジェシカ先生、今日もたくさんの質問に答えてくださりありがとうございます。このビデオがいいなと思った方は、ぜひチャンネル登録といいねをよろしくお願いします。次にしてほしい質問があれば、日本語でもいいので、ぜひコメント欄にコメントをよろしくお願いします。
Thank you so much for having me, and please click like and subscribe. And don't forget to post your questions and comments in the comments section below. We will go through all of the questions you have, and then possibly even choose some for our future videos. So thank you again. Bye.